Hello. Once again, Troy White, Hoodoo Financial, and I'm just coming to you today with another financial planning question to pose to you. Things that you need to consider or be aware of, contemplate, or work with your professional to come up with an answer to these questions or actions to resolve these issues. Question: do I have the proper amount in an emergency fund? Now, I have mentioned this in other videos. Emergency fund, I have to harp on it because this is your lifeline. This is what's going to save you. This is really the basis of your financial plan, our financial plan, what you and I can work together to do. You know what? If you don't have this emergency fund, you in danger. You are in danger. Because, let me say it, I don't want to give you all these bad warnings. I hate that. I hate, give me some advice. Don't give me no warnings. I got enough damn warnings. Give me some useful information. I keep saying that to people, so let me do that. Pose the question again. Do I have the proper amount in an emergency fund? What is the proper amount in emergency fund? Off the bat, 6 months to a year in non-discretionary expenses. Economic ebonics. You need about 6 months worth of all the money you supposed to pay out. All the money you got to pay out to somebody every month, you need that times 6. All the shit you owe, you need that times 6. Hopefully, preferably, supposedly, you best have that times 12. So, more. What am I talking about? So, your rent, you gotta eat, your kids, transportation to get to school, the lights, the water. You need that covered. You need that covered times 6. You need that covered times 12. You need that covered times 3. Okay, so you need 3 months, 6 months, a year. We want a year, so I don't. You're not gonna just pop up and put a year's worth to the side, right? And I don't want you to do that. What I want, we're going to have, all right, before we even got to 3 months, I don't have 3 months worth, right? Okay, you need $1,000 in an emergency fund. So those are the stages that we're going to go in when it comes to building your emergency fund. And when you have this emergency fund, this is going to completely change the game for your life, especially if you are someone who has financial goals and dreams, or just dreams and goals that you need to accomplish, and you are a person who understands that those dreams and goals all have a dollar figure attached to them, and the only person who's going to cover that money is you. Nobody cares about what you got going on except you. Don't nobody care about that business you're talking about except you. You're the only one. Only time they gonna care is when they see it's done. Then they all gonna be like, oh yeah, it's going, oh yeah, it's great, man, I knew it, you was great, knew you could do that. So all that, just keep it to yourself, man. Get your plan together, get it all in order, and put it together. But the only way you're going to be able to do that is to plan the financial aspect of it too. And the only way you're going to be able to do that is to start off with an emergency fund. Because everything else springs from that. And if we don't have the emergency fund, it's going to destroy all that other stuff. Because Here's another little trick that you're going to find out. The more that you build your emergency fund, your rainy day fund, the more it grows, the less of them rainy days is going to happen to you. The less BS going to fall on you. The less bullshit going to come your way. But when you don't have no emergency fund, how much BS is always falling on you? That you are, how many things I have to pay right now. I have to pay right now. That's because you don't have no emergency fund and you wasn't planning things out. See, because to get an emergency fund, you got to plan to do that. So how you going to plan to do that? The only way you plan to do that is you had to plan all the other stuff to even allow you to free up money to go towards your emergency fund. So it's kind of, it's a cycle, it's a circle of you just getting better. So let's start here. Understand that if first thing we need to do is get $1,000 put to the side that you don't touch, that you don't be thinking like, oh yeah, as soon as you get the G, every little thing oh yeah, I wanted to go get them gold fronts. I got $1,000 over there. That's not an emergency. That's not an emergency. I'm talking about, I want this to, you stingy on this fund. You're not giving up a nickel for nothing. But when the emergency hit, that when you stingy like that in this account, in the emergency hit, you're gonna know when it's an emergency. It's not gonna be, because we're gonna be planning other things for your investments as well. So as we get that $1,000, I don't remember I said we start with 1,000, and then our secondary goal is to have 3 months of all the shit you gotta pay that you must pay on a monthly basis. All of those items, we're gonna have 3 months of reserve to pay for those items. And the reason is because when things happen, they set you back, but we want you to be able to maintain your life, because when you won't even be able to bounce back when you're going crazy, when that one little thing that threw you off, if you didn't have an emergency fund, it's going to throw you haywire, and you can't even think straight because you're trying to, oh shit, how I'm going to pay daycare, oh, how I'm going to get to work, oh, how I'm going to pay the rent, oh, how I'm going to do this, oh, how I'm going to do that. And it's a cascade. It just keep on problem after problem after problem after problem. So we're going to get a G, then we're going to get 3 months worth of all of that stuff covered, and then we're going to get 6 months of all of that stuff covered, and then we're going to have a year worth of all of that stuff covered. But at no time do we want all types of excess money just sitting there waiting for some bad thing to happen and not working for us making money. So that's what I'm saying. It starts by you get that G, and then we constantly are saving, investing with your goals in mind, your short-term, mid-term, and long-term goals in mind as we build your emergency fund. So we are investing strategically along the way, never having a boatload of money just sitting idle. Well, what do we want to do that for? Just wondering, oh, okay, I'm waiting on this emergency, and I got this money sitting here just waiting for this emergency. No. We are planning for bad things to happen, because bad things happen. But while we invest, we are freeing up. We're keeping a liquid amounts of cash for emergencies. So we'll keep that G. But I gotta ask you, what type of emergencies do you have? Are your emergencies usually still hitting you, and they are like $2,000 emergencies? Then we need 2 G's sitting there. Let's do a analysis of your emergencies. If you're still scary, saying, oh man, I don't know if that's gonna be enough. All right, well, you sound scary. You sound concerned. You sound like you have. Let's do an analysis on your emergencies. What the hell are you spending all this hurried up money's on. Let's break it down. You mean I don't have to judge you on it. I'm just saying these are questions that me and you know, as a team need to answer. It's not for nobody else. It's for you to say, oh damn, oh yeah, I had that emergency. You know what? You got a chick on the side or something. You had to pay her rent. So you know we got to cut that out. You know what type of emergencies do you have? So those are the type of analysis that you have to do for each individual, because everyone has a different life events and life styles, and you see an emergency different than I see an emergency, you know. And so I can, as you as the client, I'm judging your risk tolerance. What's an emergency to you? So we need to put aside a G for that emergency with an eye towards the future to build 3 months worth of those emergencies coverage, and then we're going to be covering 6 months of those expenses, and then we're going to cover a year of those expenses. And this is a goal that we're going to have as we are accomplishing your other financial goals. So you know, financial planning is literally a juggling act to achieve what you're trying to do. And so, you know, modern technology is here to help us do it. You know, you can't fly by the seat of your pants no more. Flying by the seat of your pants on finances just means you're not going to accomplish it. You're just talking about it. You're not trying to be about it. You know, but if you're really trying to do something, then you know, you have to do this analysis and ask yourself this question: do you have the proper amount in an emergency fund? The proper amount starts with $1,000, then 3 months worth of your non-discretionary expenses, and then we need to build that up to be 6 months of your non-discretionary expenses, and then we need to build that up to be a year of your non-discretionary expenses to cover for emergencies. We don't want nothing bad to happen. If something bad happened, we need to be able to let you parlay for a year in this bad situation so that you can make it through this hell and come out on the other end. And you know, I want to be able to be the one that helped you get through it by starting now, and when that hell hits you, you're going to be ready for it. You know, be prepared for an opportunity to arise, so that when that opportunity arises, you won't have to let it go by because you wasn't prepared. And the same holds true for a disaster. Be prepared for a disaster, so that if that disaster occurs, you won't have to suffer because you wasn't prepared. That's all I'm saying. Emergency fund helps you do that. So ask yourself, do I have a proper amount in an emergency fund? And then ask yourself with that, what was the last emergency you had and how much did it cost you? And what was the impact that had on your life? And what was the impact that had on your brain? What was the impact that had on your family's emotions? What was the impact that had on your kids? They heard that shit. They heard you stressing out about that. I'll tell you, a son do not want to see his mother crying over some bills. That's going to create something in his head. Do you have the proper amount in an emergency fund? Thanks for listening.